Introduction. Sharia audit in Malaysia can be defined as the gathering and assessment of evidence in order to ascertain and report on the level of correspondence between information and predetermined criteria for Sharia compliance purposes. An expert impartial party should conduct the audit.
Next slide is about issue of Sharia audit. The scope of the traditional legal financial audit is insufficient to meet the expectation of IFI stakeholder as a result of the creation and remarkable growth of IFI in recent years. IFI must comply with Sharia principle in all of their transaction and operation. Trust among participants in the financial market has been damaged by recent accounting scandals in which corporations construct false financial statements and auditors issue clean opinions on the false statement. Stakeholders now question the value of the auditing process because the practice of using audit as the only reliable sources of information may be invalid due to audit failures. People have indeed started to rethink the level which they trust the audit to guarantee financial and investment information.
Hello everyone, I'm SYIFA. The next recommendation for these issues is the idea of a new field, especially Shariah auditing, should be appreciated by having academics write papers that go into more detail about the idea of Shariah auditing. This will help people understand what Shariah auditing is and what it does. Not only do academics have to do this, but so do regulators, practitioners, and Islamic business groups.
Next is develop framework in Sharia audit. The creation of an internal and external framework that places an emphasis on market discipline and acts as a guide for the Sharia board through standardization and harmonization. According to the suggested system, the internal review departments of IFIs will be in charge of conducting transactions reviews, whereas external auditors will be in charge of providing an assessment of whether the IFI's activities comply with Sharia. For internally, it can improve the Sharia auditing department within the bank to improve Sharia compliance and encourage social responsibility. This will make a perception on the need of Sharia audit become a good perception. This is because IFIs need to adhere to Sharia principle in all their business transactions and operation. A new dimension in auditing, as well as auditing standards which can cope with such principles, is needed.
The last recommendation is provide educational about Sharia audit. This can be realized to ensure the requests of the accounting students and stakeholders of Islamic financial institutions as well as institutions of higher learning are considered seriously. A detailed Islamic accounting curriculum is being suggested, with a focus on the problems associated with some Islamic financial product Sharia compliance, because it is firmly believed that students long for a deeper understanding of the Sharia-related topics. The course, if not required, can also be recommended to become an elective paper in universities that choose not to include it as a part of their course syllabus. This can also make a further auditor have the basic qualifications of Sharia auditor. It will make a Sharia auditor become competent and professional. The good competence and professionalism of auditors will help them detect fraud in their workplace. Also, in-depth knowledge of Sharia would enable the auditors to detect non-Sharia compliance activities.
For the conclusion, generally there are still few uncompleted issues in Sharia audit in terms of standard for Sharia auditing practices, Sharia auditors' qualification, and their independence. For the limitation, as far as Indonesian is concerned, it can be concluded that the practice of Sharia auditing is still considered to be an insignificant program for IFIS in Indonesia, despite the fact that Indonesia is in the process of becoming a one-stop center for Islamic banking and finance. For the suggestion, the Indonesian Institute of Accountants, which is IAI, or the regulatory body in charge of IFIS should be assigned to take the responsibility of identifying and implementing a comprehensive and integrated Sharia auditing framework in order to cater for the ever-increasing number of IFIS in Indonesia. Thank you.